Welcome back to First Things First, guys. I have a number of titles that I take immense pride in. Father, husband, host of this show. Maybe none more so than official member of the Super 6 team. That's right, official member. It's on my business card and everything. I think it'd be great to give fans our second pick for the Super 6 this week. Vikings-Saints game. One of the questions is, who will catch a rush for the Saints' first touchdown of the game? Here are your options. You got Kamara, Thomas, Latavius Murray, Taysom Hill, any other player, or no Saints touchdowns. America, do not pick no Saints touchdowns. Those are all great options. But because I have promised America that I'm going to win this thing at some point this year, and I'm running out of time, I'm going with the odds. I'm going to take the field. Any other Saints player. Have I picked that Saints player yet? I have not. But it could be a defensive player. Okay. Could be a kick return touchdown. Could be maybe a little Drew Brees quarterback sneak action where he loves to jump, put the ball over the goal line, pull it back. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm just going with the odds because I need to win this week or else I'm going to lose my standing as official team member. Brian Westbrook, what say you?
Well, I would hope that you win, but you picked the wrong person. I'm going Taysom Hill at this point. Listen, Sean Payton, he's one of the best in the league at having different formations, getting his team ready, especially around the goal line. He puts the ball in the hands of Taysom Hill in so many different ways. It has to be Taysom Hill scoring the first touchdown.
I'm going with any other Saints player, so I'm right there on that corner with you. But I already picked the player. It's Jared Cook. 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games he's played in, and since week 10, he's #1 in yards per catch with tight ends with 19 per. And then, of course, he's got the most 20-yard receptions plus of any tight end in the NFL. So I'm going with Jared Cook.
I'd be good with that. I'd be good with any Saint other than Taysom Hill, Latavius Murray, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas. Before Saints-Vikings kicks off on Sunday, download the Fox Sports Super 6 app. It's free, and play for a free chance to win $25,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money. All right, let's move on. Saturday night's AFC wildcard matchup, Titans at the Patriots. Patriots have not been in the wildcard round in 10 years. Tom Brady, ready to go.
You know, it's playoff football, and everyone knows what's at stake. So you certainly have to earn it to move on.
All right, Canty, basic question but difficult question. What is the key to this football game?
Play mistake-free football. Let all the mistakes come from the Tennessee Titans and Ryan Tannehill. If you're Tom Brady, don't turn the football over, take care of it, being able to sustain drives, move the chains, be good in situational football, third down, and red zone. They haven't been great in the scoring area this year. When they get down there on Saturday, they've got to be able to take advantage and score 7 as opposed to settle for 3. So that's the biggest thing that I'm looking for in this game. I think Tom Brady's also got to help his team out by being able to capitalize on the plays that his defense is able to make for him. You got to play complementary football when you talk about beating good teams and having success in the second season. And I think that this Patriots defense has shown all year that they have the ability to stop people, take the football away, and then create extra possessions and field position for their offense. Their offense has to finish the drill and hold up their end of the bargain by being able to score points. I think if they're able to score points early in this game and dictate the complexion of the game, then I think that they have a huge advantage because the Tennessee Titans are a run-first outfit. I think if you talk them out of running the football by the scoreboard, if you get them down by 10 or more early, then they've got to go away from Derrick Henry, put the game on Ryan Tannehill. We've never seen Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs, so, I mean, that inexperience would probably lead you to believe that he's prone to making some mistakes. So I say Tom Brady and that Patriots offense has to play complementary football, put pressure on Tennessee.
Yeah, the defense for the Patriots, they have the ability to win this football game almost by themselves with little help from Tom Brady. So we know how good the defense can be, especially against, like you mentioned, inexperienced Ryan Tannehill. But offensively, there are 3 things that Tom Brady has to do. Number 1, he can't turn the football over. He can't throw blind interceptions like he did to Eric Rowe last week. He has to be a little bit more accurate throwing the football. Number 2, they have to find a way to get some explosive plays. You talked about it earlier, Nick, the special plays, the trick plays that they always try to do. They have to find a way to get either a trick play or explosive play down the field. It's just hard for them to win dinking and dunking the football down the field against this defense. And lastly, I think they need to hand the ball off. This is one of the things that Tom Brady probably doesn't want to do, but they have rushed for over 130 yards in 4 out of their last 5 games. Last season, we saw Sony Michel, 71 carries in the post postseason, 336 yards. He was impressive in the postseason. They ran the football last year. They have to get back to that to be able to win in the playoffs because offensively, they don't have very many other weapons from the outside looking in.
All right, I want to start with the Patriots side of things. If they are going to be successful running the football, I do wonder if Rex Burkhead is going to get more touches and more looks than Sony Michel. Sony, after being so great in the playoff run last year, doesn't have a single 100-yard game this year. Last year, what they were able to do is they put James White in the game, they throw it to him, they put Sony Michel in the game, they run it to him. This year, with no Devlin, with a worse offensive line, because the defense knows Sony Michel is not a receiving threat at all, when they see him in the game, they've overloaded that. Rex is the one running back they have that's a bit of a dual threat. He can catch the ball and run the football, maybe make guys miss. So I wonder if he's a factor there. The other side for the Patriots is, how dominant is Stephon Gilmore? Because through 14 weeks, I thought he was the best defensive player in football. With respect to Chandler Jones, with respect to the guys who are other candidates for Defensive Player of the Year, I thought Stephon Gilmore was having as good of a corner season as we had seen since Revis. Since Revis, one of his many multiple dominant seasons. And then in the game against Buffalo, right before the half, John Brown got him for 53 yards. That ended up, at least briefly, potentially turning that game. And then Devontae Parker, at the end of the game and throughout the game, roasted him. So now you're playing a Titans team that has A.J. Brown, who has been sensational since Daniel's taking over. And on the other side, you have Corey Davis. Corey Davis, a former top 5 pick, who last year against Stephon Gilmore went 7 catches for $125 and a touchdown. So how good will Gilmore be in eliminating, without double coverage, without safety help, one of those Titans receivers? On the other side of the ball, for the Titans, I really want to see the Logan Ryan, Julian Edelman matchup. Edelman's the only receiver Brady trusts. As critical as I've been about Brady, I'm not going to deny he obviously has not been on the same page with Sanu or N'Keal Harry or Jacoby Myers, these other receivers he's had. He trusts Edelman, even a banged-up Edelman. The advanced numbers say Logan Ryan's the #1 slot corner in football this year. So instead of doing what most teams have had to do as of late, and it's been effective, is put 2 people on Edelman, bracket him, and play the rest of the Patriots with 9. If the Titans can play the rest of the Patriots with 10 by saying, Logan Ryan, we trust you to cover Edelman, that is a huge edge. And then there's the red zone factor in this. The Titans are scoring touchdowns since Daniel took over on 87% of their red zone drives. #2 in the NFL is Tampa Bay at 72%. They get in the red zone, they score touchdowns. The Patriots, meanwhile, 26th in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage. So how effective are you in the red zone? And one other small note, I couldn't believe it, but Dusty showed it to me this morning, our statistician. It's not only that the Titans' current kicker has not made a field goal this season after being 17 of 20 for Cleveland last year. The Titans this year on the season have made 8 field goals, the fewest in any season since the strike-shortened year of '82. The Patriots have gone into most games this year with a deficit as far as our kicker versus your kicker, as far as making field goals. That won't be the case. So I think for both teams, this is a 4-down game. This is do we trust our kicker to kick a 47-yarder? Do we go for it on 4th and 6? And those types of things can change the tenor of the game. The question I have for both of you, guys who have played road playoff games, how difficult is it going to be for Ryan Tannehill to deal with the crowd noise, to deal with the intensity, to deal with everything that goes into playing in his first playoff game, and he's doing it at Gillette Stadium?
Well, it's something about being in that atmosphere. You have to be able to control your nerves, that anxious energy that you have as a player. If you've never been in it before, it's almost impossible to prepare for it. So this is one of those things where you're wondering how Ryan Tannehill is going to handle the pressure. I mean, different players respond differently toward that type of pressure. So that'll be interesting to see early on. If he can get himself settled into the game early, I think that's one of those things that bodes well for the Titans. It's just a matter of the supporting cast being able to do enough to be able to not put too much on his shoulders in that game. That's why I put so much emphasis on Tom Brady and that Patriots offense trying to put pressure on that Titans offense to score points, because you have to try to put as much pressure on Ryan Tannehill to see how he's going to react to being in this type of situation.
one of the things that you learn as soon as you get in the NFL, I learned it my first year, the intensity increases from OTAs to training camp, from training camp to the regular season, and then from the regular season to the playoffs, the intensity level is magnified completely.
And the speed of the game.
Oh, my goodness. The speed of the game is totally different. So for guys that haven't been there on that Titans football team, this is going to be totally different. And you're going in there and you're going to see the banners. You're going to see Bill Belichick. You're going to see Tom Brady. Those things kind of change a football team a little bit.
One of the reasons I like the Patriots is I just think back to Jared Goff, even though he ended up winning this game, in his first road playoff game last year in New Orleans. Remember the first quarter of that? Couldn't hear, couldn't get the play in. I wonder how often you're going to see early in the game Ryan Tannehill doing this and then calling timeout because it can't get the communication down, can't deal with the noise of Gillette, something I think could be a key part.
And here's the other thing, too, Nick. I played there in the divisional round in 2014, having a 2-touchdown lead twice in that game, still ended up losing in Foxborough. Very tough place to play.
Coming up, we pick the winners of all 4 wildcard weekend games. That's next. This First Things First. I wasn't even going to bring that up, man.